So I did a little kind of like 30-second snippet of my story so far from 2013 to now, and I've done part one. Part two will come next week. So I thought I'd just share a little bit more in-depthness to part one, so you get a bit more context, I guess. So back in 2013, I didn't really do any exercise. I think I had a gym membership, can't fully remember, but I barely went. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't certainly didn't go very regularly. And maybe I went for a swim once in a while, or maybe went and tried a class every now and again, and then when it really hurt, I didn't bother going back again. But then March 2013 hit, and in our family we lost someone really dear to us. I mean, every loss is dear, but this person to me was quite, if I had to say it, this person to me was somebody who I looked up to, who was always super enthusiastic about what I was doing, was really helpful, was great fun to be around. He was my uncle, so my mum's brother, and we had that relationship where he was always encouraging and supportive and pushed me in different ways than my parents did. My parents did that as well, and so it was really great, and I could talk to him because he was having different experiences to they were, so I could talk to him about what I was doing in like the corporate world, because that's where I was at the time, and how to deal with certain situations. And so I would go and ask him these questions, or I'd go and visit him in London and have a different time than I would do with my parents, because he wasn't my parents, and we'd go out for a bit more drinks, and I'm lucky that I now do that with my parents, but at that time he was the person that I did that with, and he was such a great adventurer. He went through a lot of difficult times, and he went out of traveling in his mid-30s because of certain circumstances, and just lived life to the max. So when he passed away, it was just so gutting. We were so shocked. It was so quick. We went from a massive high as a family down to a massive low of losing him. So from him getting married and 6 months later him passing away, and it was just such a tough time. But it happened, and that's kind of how I started on this journey. So through the grief of losing my uncle, which was 8 years ago now, I became, through the grief, it became very depressed, and there's a whole sort of 6 to 8 months, if not a little bit longer, of life I can't really remember, and I didn't do very much. I was not in the best of places, and I was getting so mentally exhausted because I was just thinking all the time. So I got to a point where I literally just started going to the gym and running on the treadmill till my body was tired, and I would fall asleep, because I was invariably crying myself to sleep because I was so distraught from this loss, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I lived away, so I wasn't with my family all the time, and so that's what started me off. So I was literally just running on the treadmill. I wasn't even going into the gym for anything else. I'd literally just run on the treadmill and exhaust myself, and then I would fall asleep, because although I was mentally blah, 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 going around, and then my body was done, but my head wasn't, and it was a weird combination of place to be in. But then I joined a different gym. My membership ran out, and I joined a different gym, and this opened me up to like a whole world of stuff. I was learning how to do burpees, I was learning how to use battle ropes, and using power bags, and lifting weights off the ground, and deadlifting, and bench pressing, and all sorts of stuff. And I mean, this stuff like really grabbed me, and I was like, I've never been able to do this before. I never even thought about doing it before, and it was really amazing, because I went out and I did it, and I kept trying, and I kept pushing, and I became friends with one of the PTs, and I employed her to do me some sessions, and it was just incredible. And I'm still friends with her now, and that's kind of what I did. And very quickly got hooked on endorphins, and I got hooked on that feeling of, can I go a little bit farther, can I go a little bit faster, what can I do next, what can I try? And the guys down at this gym, they said to me one day, he says, oh, we're going to do Tough Mudder. And just at a point, at Tough Mudder at this point, no idea. I had no idea what it was. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give that a go. Yeah, it sounded tough, but my mindset was like, yeah, I can do anything, like, at this point. So Googled it afterwards. I agreed to do it, and I was like, oh crap, like, what have I setting myself up, or what am I letting myself in for? But they put on some free classes, and we trained as a team, and we built this really good, solid team of people who were going out and doing, heading off to do this thing. and it took us 4 hours, and I bloody loved it. It was amazing. And literally, I was in the bath, and they sent me an email, Tough Mudder did, after I'd finished it, and then we were like, want to sign up for next year? This is the cheapest it's ever going to be. And I thought, oh, what made me do it? Because at this point I couldn't walk properly. Oh, my muscles, I literally used everything. And next up, I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. So I was training for the following year, but in between times we did Wolf Run, we did Tough Guy, we did I did Suffering, and we did Wolf Run, then we did Tough Mudder again, and you know, I did all of these OCRs, and it was all about, right, can I do it faster? Can I do it more? Can I do this one that, you know, this obstacle I didn't do before? Can I run a bit faster? Can I run for longer without stopping? And it was just incredible. It was a really incredible place to be, and it was amazing. And so I just wanted to kind of let you know that's where I started off. I don't naturally you know, enjoy exercise. I found it really challenging at school. Like my mum's my PE teacher, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago now, and like she'd retired, and she was like, oh, how Robert and Emma doing? Robert being my brother. And you know, my mum was sort of then describing what I was doing for a living and what my brother was doing, and we were polar opposites to what we were at school. And this teacher couldn't believe that I was now a PT. It was just insane, and that I was, you know, that's going to be coming in part 2, you know, and what I was doing, and that I was really into exercise, because I'm into exercise for making me feel good, and into exercise for my mental well-being and mental health, and into exercise for feeling good and pushing myself. And I'm not necessarily into it for being really skinny, because my body's never going to be super skinny. My body is strong, hence the name, like Strongbird's Fitness, right? This is my fitness, and this is the way I do it, and I just wanted to get that across. And this is what the journey, you know, what I'm going to document a little bit more for you now is my journey through fitness, and my journey through, you know, trying out different gyms, my journey through the different kit that I have, and why I've chosen to buy it, because I'm really stringent, and the leggings that I use, the footwear I wear, the socks I wear, all that sort of thing, and just taking you through a real life thing. And I'm not in it for anything other than going, yeah, this is me. So thanks for watching. If you've liked this and you found it useful, hit subscribe, and part 2 will be coming soon.
Let's get some sun.